what immigration crackdown could mean for cheap milk. Undocumented labor quietly props up the entire U.S. dairy industry. 4:30 in the morning felt numbingly cold in southern Idaho when it was Rosa's turn to usher the cows into the milking parlor. Striding through the dairy farm's open lots, she tried to balance speed with caution. April showers and the hooves of roughly 2,000 cows had transformed the whole section of the lots into a slippery goo of dirt, dung, and urine. The muck had stuck to her rubber boots. On at least one occasion, she had fallen in it. If you don't know how to skate, you learn here, she told me in Spanish. This is better than an ice rink. Close to the milking parlor, things got tricky. The goo was thicker there, where hundreds of cows passed every hour, and Rosa needed the animals to squeeze together inside the holding area. She was small, and they were huge. Each of them weighed at least 1,000 pounds. There are a lot of ways to get hurt on a dairy farm, and being crushed by cows is one of them. The animals are languid and gentle, but they startled easily. In a panic, they can move fast. Rosa's boss, a man named Peter, allowed me to follow her around the dairy because he believes that more people need to understand how economically precarious America's production of milk has become. The problem, as Peter sees it, is that the price of everything in America has gone up except the price of milk. In the 1980s, a tractor cost him roughly $60,000. The federal minimum wage was $3.35, and the first 100 pounds of Class 3 milk, the kind used in making yogurt and cheese, sold to a processing plant for $12.24. Since then, many of its expenses have doubled or tripled, yet the farm value of milk has been dropping since the 1970s. If you adjusted for inflation, for consumers picking up a gallon at the supermarket, this is a blessing, but for Peter, it's a tragedy. When we talked last spring, the selling price for 100 pounds of Class 3 milk hovered around $15.50, roughly $3 above where it had been 40 years ago, and a 55% drop in real value. Week to week, the farm value of milk can jump up and down drastically, but it also has long-term trends. Andrew, an expert on dairy economics at Cornell University, explained. Over the past 5 years, it has swung between $11.60 and $25.46, but the overall trend is down. Every time it dips below $18. Peter runs his dairy at a loss. Over the years, Peter and his family have found ways to manage the declining value of milk. They've built the fences out of recycled oil pipes used to brewers waste for cow feed, rented field to grow their own alfalfa, but the biggest cost that they can control is the cost of labor and the productivity of his dairy, and of almost every successful dairy in America now dependent overwhelming on immigrants. Peter refused to let me write about his dairy or his employees until I promised that I would not use the full legal name of anyone I met there, including him. A growing number of Idaho's elected officials want to revoke the operating license of any business caught employing undocumented workers. Such bills, if they pass, could ruin farmers like the Peter and kneecap the state of the economy. The Idaho Dairymen's Association estimates that 89% of the state's on-site dairy workers are foreign-born. Nationally, the number may be closer to 51%, according to a survey published in 2015 by Texas A&M and research by economics in New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Vermont suggest that the majority of these immigrants are undocumented. After U.S. election in November, a reckoning for the dairy industry could quickly become a national concern. At the Republican National Convention in July, attendees waved signs of demanding mass deportation now, signaling their enthusiasm for former President Donald Trump's promise to deport the millions of undocumented residents if voters return him to the White House.